Welcome to The Walk-In, a podcast where doors stay open and stories unfold one conversation at a time. Hosted by Christopher Michael Sean, author, poet, actor, and lifelong student of People and Purpose. Here, you're more than just a listener. You're part of the room, part of the story. In every episode, someone sits down, breathes deep, and shares what drives them, what keeps them moving, and what keeps them dreaming. This is a space for dreamers, doers, and those still finding their way. So pull up a chair, pour something warm, and let's take a walk into the soul.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Walk-In Podcast. This is your new Yoki host. It has been a very long time since we sat down, and this week in particular, it's spring break while I'm recording this. I know I shouldn't date an episode, but while I'm recording this, it's spring break, and I've got like 10 episodes lined up to record, plenty of guests. I'm working on, finishing up some schoolwork and a transition in my job and management, moving apartments. There's a whole lot of transition going on. And I've always been someone that's, seen meaning and built purpose out of the madness. And I see this as an opportunity to open up with you guys and really take this opportunity to talk. And so here we are. I've never been good at these things. Talking alone is not necessarily something that I'm strong at yet. I think that's something that I can build upon. It's definitely easier whenever there's someone else here that I can chime with or that I can spin off ideas, especially because really what this podcast is, it's a large group of small dreamers and creators that are all just trying to find their way in every story and every journey. So the biggest thing is college. Everything's been going really well. My grades have been better than I expected. For a lot of you guys, you might remember that I went to college during COVID, and I actually stopped going to college after I got into a relationship. And well, that relationship ended in 2023, so I ended up moving to New York and restarting and all that. Well, whenever I decided to go back to college this semester, between January and May, spring semester, I really thought that I was going to be messing up a lot. So what I decided to do in January was record dozens of episodes so that I wouldn't have to worry about the podcast. It could kind of run itself while I was in school. So what ended up happening was while I'm, working and doing my classwork, and I'm seeing these episodes pop up on my page, it's been pretty amazing. You get so stuck in the grind of, classwork, exams, assignments, presentations, and then all of a sudden you get a notification on your phone of an episode that you recorded and edited and published. It is such an accomplishing feeling seeing the episodes come out every Monday at 2 p.m. And that's really what I'm doing this week as well during spring break, is another large amount of recordings so that I can finish up my college semester and just keep moving forward into the summer episodes. It's been amazing. Like I said, I've had a lot of fun with college, and balancing that with work has been really interesting because work has been very politically dramatic, I guess. Like work politics, everybody hates work politics, and it's been very loud, and it's been hard to focus on school. So what I ended up doing is I actually ended up transitioning to a different department, which has been honestly a blessing. It's actually kind of crazy whenever you transition from like a really large department at work where you've got like 60 people that you're watching over, you're managing the floor and schedules and money and all this stuff, and then the next second you've got a small team of about 4 or 5 people. You're in a calmer department and it's just you as the manager and your boss. It is such a different feeling, and it's been so calming and relaxing. It's been a lot better in terms of balance with school, because my new boss is not only working with my school schedule, but thanks to him, I've actually, had time off during spring break to focus on myself, give myself some, relaxation, pay attention to my cat who never stops yelling in the background. I love him to death. Hi, Risky. It has been an absolute blessing being able to sit here and work on school, work on my work, still working on the podcast, I haven't been doing much in terms of acting, and that part does kind of suck because I was really hoping that by now I'd have at least a couple of gigs under my belt, maybe a voice acting job or whatever. I can say that Jack Useru, somebody who was a guest on our podcast, he actually reached out to me about a project he's working on, and he might need a voice actor for that, and that's awesome. And I think that that's really where it comes into play, where I'm building a community that's going to kind of support itself, and that's awesome. It's incredible to see. Not only that it's benefiting each other, that we're seeing like Ziello reach out to other voice actors, and we're building a small community of photographers, and an indie author that by the time this episode is out, his name is Edward. I can't remember his last name, but he's a very well-known author, and he's actually built a community of indie authors that he invited me to, which is incredible because honestly, I've published one book. And I published it in January as my new Yoki documentary, which was a lot of fun to work on, and it was very nerve-wracking. It was actually something that I set as a goal for last year, and it ended up not happening. But I ended up publishing it on like January 4th, and that's an accomplishment. It's like I've said before, whenever you set your goals, whenever you set accomplishments and like a finish line, every time you reach the bar, you tend to raise it. So it's really important to celebrate those wins as they come along. And yeah, this week as well, I'm working on moving into a bigger apartment with a friend of mine. You guys know Joey. He's been in a few of our episodes. He's moving out and into my place. He's moving out of his old place into my place, which is going to be a lot easier. I can say that the economy right now is not kind to those who live on their own. It's a lot easier to live with someone else. So him and I are working together. I'm probably going to make a few upgrades to my rooms so that I can actually move my recording area from the living room into the bedroom, get some soundproofing in there, get some cool lighting. I'm also looking into possibly doing video for the podcast so you guys can actually see me and whoever else I have here, which will also open us up to the opportunity of having people actually physically in this space in wherever it is that I'm recording. And there is something with the podcast, with the momentum. Like I said, every now and then I get an episode that I recorded that pops up on my phone as a notification, on my FYP, whichever, and it's encouraging to see that my podcast is breathing. And it really is breathing whenever I look at the analytics and I can see the ups and downs, and it's not stagnant. It's very dynamic. It's moving, it's breathing. It's like a heartbeat. And I think that has to do with a lot of what you guys might be seeing as well in your own lives, in your own dreams, in your own ambitions. I think that this world can be extremely discouraging for anybody who's a dreamer, anybody who wants to push themselves. It can be really discouraging whenever you don't see immediate results. But I'm telling you right now, you have it. You have a beautiful spark that the world deserves to see, and I just hope that I get the opportunity to talk to you and see your dream as well. And something that I've realized with these conversations, I actually did a presentation in class about the podcast where I spoke about the Walk-In podcast. My professor, Professor Cho, she actually listened to a few of the episodes. A few of my professors have, and they really do love the podcast. They love the vision behind the podcast, and the students do as well. Like my peers at school, they do as well, and a few of them actually are hopefully listening to this now. And it made me realize that there's actually more dreamers than I originally thought out there that remain dormant because of how loud the world is. And this ties into a conversation that I had with my psychology professor, because psychology is my major. His name is Dr. Stellar. He's he's a super ancient guy. This guy is wise beyond his years. And his years are, he'll tell you, he's not 45. He's probably about 46, 47. I'm just kidding. So I don't know why I said that. Dr. Stellar, great guy. Him and I had a one-on-one conversation. It was really encouraging. He emailed me. He's like, hey, I love the feedback that you give for the class. I love the insightful conversations you have on the terms and everything else. And I would love for us to have a one-on-one. So I meet him in his office one day. And in case you guys didn't know, my schedule is crazy, but so is his. And the fact that we were able to both come up with a day where we could just sit down and talk was actually a lot of fun. But I'll be honest, most of the time it was Dr. Stellar doing the talking, and it was an incredible conversation. He was talking a lot about how he used to be more administrative. He used to be like the dean of the college, the president, or whatever, and how he worked a lot on the administrative side. But whenever you work in the administrative side, it's a lot of economy. It's a lot of, oh, how do we make more money? How do we do more of this, that, and the other? And he realized that that's not really what he enjoys. He's good at it. He likes it to a degree, but he said that he really loves being there with the students, seeing them grow, seeing them make progress, and such like that. And he said something that I'll never forget, something that really clicked in my head. And, I can really relate to this, especially with the podcast. He said that the reason he's able to, because whenever other professors ask him, how are you so positive all the time and with work, despite how crazy the world is? And he said, the reason I can do that is because I surround myself with my students. And whenever I'm surrounded by these students who have dreams and ideas and ambitions, it really does open me up to such a beautiful, positive mindset. Because, and this is something with the podcast as well, and this is what I told Dr. Stellar, is that whenever I sit here with dreamers, with people who have these amazing stories, these amazing journeys, who are, some are tragic, some not as much, but they're still gorgeous stories, ambitious, beautiful people who want to do more with their lives, and despite how crazy the world is, they're trying. It's because I'm surrounding myself with these dreamers, and it's because Stellar is surrounding himself with students that we're able to say, hey, the world is loud, but here, it doesn't have to be. We can have this quiet, sacred sanctuary and just exist. We don't have to become millionaires overnight. We don't have to be the best in our field. We don't have to be an all-time star, master's psychology professor, doctor, astronaut, physicist. We can simply be you and I together, dreaming one step at a time. And I'm not good at the whole TikTok game. I've tried my best, honestly, with, publishing regularly. It's really hard whenever, I have school and work, because usually I have school from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. I have work from 1 to 10. Of course, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. for school is usually only Mondays and Wednesdays, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays is only the morning, so 8 a.m. to 12. And then the rest of the time I'm at work or studying or working on classwork or homework or assignments or whatever. So it's really hard for me to find time, but I do. And so I try to put in TikTok videos, inspirational ones, some that are like, hey, your dreams are worth chasing. You're worth more than what your past tells you, such like that. Because there's something that we learn in psychology is it is very easy for the brain to lie to you. Your brain is truly your biggest enemy because it whispers more lies than truths. Your brain will tell you, oh, well, it's just not worth the effort. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough of anything. But I'm telling you right now, if I can come to New York with $1,000 in a bag of clothes, sleep in my car, then I want to spend every bit of my energy believing in you. And I'm not saying that, oh, well, pick yourself up and try. No, I'm saying, listen, I know it's hard to even breathe right now. The world is loud. There's war and famine, noise, disease, rooted in our economy, our infrastructure. The world is terrifying. Every generation deals with this fear, with this nationwide, international fear, something that's always driving us away. And it is a dark world we live in. But if there is one thing that I've learned, it's that it is the dreamers of the world that light the way in the darkness. They penetrate the dark into the light. You are the light that the world needs. You are, truly. And I hope you all stay with me here. I really do hope every single one of you breathes with me, exists with me. It is a hard world, but together, we can dream, build this beautiful, gorgeous story. It's not going to be perfect. We're going to be poor. We're going to be broke. And we're going to be discouraged more than we are encouraged. It's not a perfect path, but it's one that we can exist in together. We've got this. I know we do. And that brings me to small dreamers and creators. Everybody starts somewhere. And I'm reminded of Anthony, one of the voice actors that was on the podcast. The guy who does our outros. He's doing well. He's doing coaching, for other voice actors, and we have small authors that are doing well as well. And it's incredible to see the community grow, to see everybody like piggyback off of each other, encourage each other. And I really hope that, as a community, we can keep moving forward. I don't know. I feel like that's really what this podcast has become. We're inching closer to our 1-year mark. We're inching closer to a couple of milestones. I think by the time this episode comes out, we'll have hit 50 episodes. That's incredible. We have over 550 streams and downloads. We're doing really well. We're not perfect. We're not the #1 podcast, but we're doing okay. I don't care how the podcast does. I want to know how you're doing. And I hope that you're chasing your dreams. It is your light that will penetrate the dark. I'm telling you right now. It really is the dreamers of the world that will save us. And guys, I just want to thank you for sitting down with me today and listening to me ramble and listening to me go on and on about all of this. The vision remains the same: to encourage the world, to awaken the dreamers, to continue this beautiful story, this beautiful journey, as messy and distracted and diseased as it may be. It is us, you and me, you listening right now. You will change the world with your dreams, with your vision. There's something that I learned whenever I was younger, and it's that we oftentimes correlate our legacy with our past and with the name that we belong to, with our identity. But the truth is, our identity is malleable. We choose who we identify as. Me, I like to think of myself as an actor, an author, a podcast host. Am I a millionaire? No. Am I on stage every night? No. But I'm trying my best. And that's what makes me who I am. I'm not perfect, but I'm here alongside you guys. And once again, thank you so much. And we've got a lot more episodes coming, a lot of episodes behind, a lot of episodes ahead. The Walk-In Podcast is alive and well, breathing stories every single Monday at 2 p.m. And I guess I'll leave it to our boy, Anthony.
Hey there, this is friend of the show, Anthony Ziello. And I just wanted to say thanks for stepping into the Walk-In today. If this episode spoke to you, go ahead and follow the show and catch us every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can find The Walk-In on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you listen. And if you want to hang with our community, come join the Discord. We'd love to have you there. A huge shout out to the Podmatch community for having us with them. Their support for dreamers is unmatched. Until next time, take a breath, stay inspired, and as always, we'll walk together again next week.